Good morning, dear student. Today we will teach about the classifications of elementary particles. What is elementary particles and what is the role of elementary particles in field of physics? In beginning of 19th century, it was believed that atom is unique and it can't be divided in further particles or sub particles. But in the 1911s, when the Rutherfords put up the new idea of nuclei and talk about proton and the concept of the neutrons, then it is was considered that there may be the three particles in atoms: protons, neutrons, and electrons. But after 1930, it was believed that in after the experiments verifications of neutrino, that atoms or nuclei or particles may be classified or made of such sub-particles or elementary particles. So there are the two type of particles. Here it is very not clearly shown in diagram, so we will not focus on this diagram. It will use after few statements. There are the two type of particles. The particle which has spin half is called is called fermions or Fermi. These particles obeys Fermi-Dirac statistics are called the fermions. On the other hand, the particle which obeys the Bose-Einstein's statistics, which has spins s equal to half, is called half, 0, 1, 2. These are called boson particles. So these are the classifications of particle on the basis of their spins. But in the nuclear physics, we have to talk about the what is the elementary particles and how can we divide elementary particles on special characteristics. So here one thing is very clear: the fermions, which follows Fermi-Dirac statistics. On the other hand, the boson, which obey the Bose-Einstein conditions. On the if we would like to talk about the strength of force for a particles, then there we can divide the particles in the two ways. So first are the hadrons and second is leptons. The hadrons are all those particles which shows strong nuclear force or strong forces. Those particles are called hadrons. For examples, the proton, neutrons, the pions, sigmas, all the particles which has spins may be half and integer are called the hadrons. On the other hand, the leptons, those particles which shows weak interactions forces, those are called the leptons. So one thing is very clear that it is the classifications on the strength of interactions between the particles. Further, hadrons can be divided in the two subcategories. First is the mesons. The mesons are the particles which obey Bose-Einstein's statistics. We can say that all the mesons has spin equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Those particles are called the mesons. On the other hand, the baryons. The baryons are those hadrons which obey Fermi-Dirac statistics are called baryons. So examples: the protons, the neutrons are the baryons particles, and on the other hand, the pions, the neta are the meson particles. Further, the baryons also can be divided into subcategory. The first is the nucleons and the Second category is called the hyperons. The nucleons are those particles which has less masses. For examples, the protons and neutrons are called nucleons is a category of a various particles. On the other hand, the hadrons, all those baryons which has the value of mass much time greater than neutron or protons are called hyperons. For example, sigma p, sigma minus, sigma naught. These are omega, lambda. These are the hyperons particles. So I think it is very clear that how can we divided the elementary particles on the basis of statics, and we can divide them to on the basis of their interactions forces. In next lecture we will study about what is their properties of elementary particles and the conservation law of particles in our next lectures. Thank you. See you soon.